It's a great event. We have been feeling great since morning. There hasn't been any monotony. And welcome back from lunch. So this is India's time, as everybody has said, in the first half of the day. Yes. So thank you. This decade or this century is of India, Bharat. So therefore, talking about global market navigation and scaling up, expansion strategies and scaling up with new green technologies is something which is now India has been doing and shall be doing much faster and much better. And the expansion strategies, global market expansion strategies is going to make it the third largest economy by 2028. Now it looks like the projection is by 2028 it should become the third largest. So we have high expectation and we are all now proud of being Indian, the way it is going for us in the country and globally. I have the pleasure to have Mr. B.N. Sahu as a panelist from BHL. I know him since long, and I invite the other panelists, Mr. Santosh Sahu if he is there, Mr. Amit Goel, Mr. Piyush Bhandari, Mr. Virat Bahari, Mr. Adarsh Kumar, and Ms. Yogita Tulsiani. So many of them. We have a full house.
आगे कर मिलेगा।
Chairperson Mr. Deepak Majumdar, unfortunately couldn't turn up. So what I am going to do is let me introduce the panelists. Mr. B.N. Sahu is the DG and HR with BHA. Mr. Santosh Sahu. He's the director of Go Green Warehouse in Rabat. Mr. Amit Goel. Okay. He's the co-founder and chief global strategist, Pace 360 Finance from Delhi. Mr. Piyush Bhandari. Okay. He's the co-founder and director, Jumping Goose, Bangalore. Yes. And with us, Mr. Virat Bahari, Deputy Director, Trade Promotion Council of India. Mr. Adarsh Kumar, Partner, Pro Ultimus Consulting. And Mr. there. It has come from London. So maybe the organizers have truly made it an international event that way. So. Before we go into the question mode, question and response mode, I would request each of you to give one statement, one or two statements about this topic and where does India stand and India is poised for global market navigation, international expansion strategies, scaling up with new green technologies in competitive markets. So we start from the side of the right. So what about this topic? Where does India stand and India is poised for this? What do you feel?
My name is Adarsh Kumar, and actually I lead a firm called Ultimus Consulting Firm, and I'm a partner there. And this firm deals about all these techno-legal disputes, infrastructure disputes. So basically, India is growing a large infrastructure, and lot of things are coming, like bullet train are coming in India. India is fastest growing in digital technology and others. So we look forward a high growth, and Modi's vision is for $5 trillion India. So it will take, India need to focus on the infrastructure sector as well, because the 10% of the GDP are contributed by the infrastructure sector. So of course, in previous session people were talking about the digital and all. So I believe there will be a combination of digital intervention in infrastructure. But all the drone technology and latest technology in the construction are coming up, which is taking help of the digital growth. That is my question.
Thank you. Quite well said. Now, Mr. Santosh.
Good evening, everybody. I belong to a sector into farmers, farm sector, into agri sector. So you know the kind of opportunities we have seen after COVID. So roti, kapra, makan, these three are the most prevalent, business in India, because population is growing at a very faster rate. So we belong to roti category, so food category. So everybody know what is the potential of India. We are number one in milk, we are number two in fruits, we are number one in vegetables. So all sorts of fruit. So there is a gross domestic value of around 1,000 billion metric ton of food grain and horticultural crops, and other agri sector production is there. So the kind of export potential is there. But since this industry is suffering from few issues like the last mile losses, food losses, around 30 to 40% of the food grains and other food commodities that get spoiled. So that is an area actually at the start of in Go Green warehouses we are trying to minimize that losses through scientific warehousing, cold chain management and other aspects. Similarly, as somebody was telling, last mile is the key. So 80 to 85% of the farmers, they are small and marginal farmers who actually produce the goods, and they do not know the scientific, know how to preserve the food and all that. So that is the second area we are looking at, how the productivity can increase and that losses at farm gate level can be minimized, and the quality of the goods is improved, so that we can be a global player. So with that actually we are trying to promote Prime Minister Farmer Producer Organization. That concept has come in 2012, and that is the area we are looking at, how we aggregate the farmers, educate them, teach them, train them, make the BOD, make a startup, farmer startups, and get them into international market. So that is the second area we are doing. So in the later part I can discuss various ways how we are taking this business ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Santosh. You made a statement of roti kapra makan, which I think is valid for India. India has gone beyond roti kapra makan into space and landed on the moon, isn't it? We will not be happy to hear roti kapra makan anymore. So, Mr. B.N. Saha.
Very warm good afternoon to all of you. I represent BHEL, which is an engineering conglomerate. It's a central public sector undertaking of the Government of India. And as Pandeji already said that we established in 1956. Right now we have to give you a short glimpse of our company and what we really do and what are our international forays into. So we are a 30,000 strong company in which around we have 9,000 engineers, and we are taking care not only for the power generation equipment manufacturing. Apart from that, we are also in a big way into transmission. We are into transportation. Like we have received recent orders from the Indian Railways for manufacturing 80 Vande Bharat trains, which is the first of its kind to be manufactured in India. We are very proud of that. And it was also a diversification effort of ours. Vande Bharat. And we are also into manufacturing, we are also into the defense sector, aerospace sector, transportation, transmission and all. So traditionally we are into manufacturing power equipments for the thermal power plants. But due to the Paris Agreement and due to the focus of the government towards the renewable sources of energy like solar, because primarily as a company we were not only dealing with thermal power, we were also dealing with hydroelectricity power, we were also dealing with solar, we were also dealing with gas and other forms of energy. But our main base was thermal. So when the government decided or there was a move towards the renewable energy, and most of our skill base was into manufacturing of equipments which were used in the thermal power plants. So we did a lot of upskilling, multi-skilling for our workforce. We did a lot of diversification efforts also. Like as I already told regarding the Vande Bharat trains, recently Chandrayaan. So we manufactured the lithium-ion batteries for that as well as the solar panels for Chandrayaan. And for Navy ships also we are providing them with the guns which is mounted on the Navy ships. So because if you see the diversification effort, if you talk of the matrix, it is at the highest, it is the most risky part of any business. Because in diversification what you do is you deal with new products as well as you deal with new markets. So that is a challenge in itself. So right now we are going strong on that and we are sure to gain more momentum. Thank you.
Yeah, this comment.
So good afternoon everybody. My name is Amit Goel and I represent PACE 360. So I am the Chief Global Strategist of PACE 360 and PACE is a pioneer and national leader in the area of algo and HFT trading in India and also in the macro top-down theme of asset management in India. So we've been in business for about 28 years and we have been trading and investing in Indian and global financial markets for all these 28 years. So besides of course algo and HFT where we are a dominant player and we do about 3.5% of the total daily turnover done on the Indian exchanges. But apart from that, this macro top-down theme of asset management is something which is extremely exciting. When I started 28 years back, that time practically nobody knew what macro top-down asset management is all about. While globally it has been very big for about 4 decades or so. But in India, people were not really aware of what this is. I have seen this space evolve and I have seen this space develop over the last 10 years and I can safely tell you that there is a lot more awareness and consciousness today about what macro top-down is. So most of you would be very familiar with the micro bottoms-up theme of asset management, wherein the fund manager picks up individual stocks or individual companies bond. But in macro top-down, you basically start from the top and you come down and you try to analyze which asset class is going to do well, where we are in the global macroeconomic cycle, where we are in the global macroeconomic cycle as far as India is concerned, and based on that you take your decisions. I can safely tell you that macro top-down theme of asset management is going to explode from here, and we being pioneers and national leaders of this macro top-down theme of asset management in India, we believe that we are going to be the flag bearers of this particular theme, and we've got some industry leading products and we have outperformed practically all the indices, we have outperformed practically all our peers over the last few years, and we believe that this trend is going to become even more accentuated over the next 3 to 5 years because the nature of the Indian financial markets is now becoming more of macro than micro. So this is what we've been doing, and I would want to make one point here that I think right now where we are in terms of the landscape for India, there is this unique opportunity because not only do we represent one of the largest markets for so many different products and services all over the world, but also we've got a great talent pool, we've got great business models here. I firmly believe that if any business can be a success in India, you can be a success anywhere in the world. So not only are we going to attract a lot of attention and money from overseas because they want to tap the great Indian market which is growing by leaps and bounds, but also the entrepreneurs here who have time-tested delivery models. Many of us are going to be moving out and also sort of trying to get the global pie or a big share of the global pie over the years. So this is exactly what my company has done. So today we manage clients' money not just in India but all over the world. We have presence in different parts of the world, and I can safely tell you that when we started 28 years back, the people sitting in London, Singapore and UAE, they were not convinced that an Indian fund manager sitting somewhere in India can manage their money globally. But I can tell you that that thing has completely evolved. And today, the respect which you get as a fund manager from India, sitting in India, is unprecedented. It's like never before. So we've got clients in 30 different countries of the world who rely on us to manage their money not just in the Indian financial markets but also in the global financial markets. So thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, and I thank the organizers and jury for bestowing this honor on us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Amit. All are giving very positive message about the new Bharat, new India. And Mr. Amit made the last message, which is very interesting, exciting for us, that we are managing the assets very well. So we have got the best fund managers or asset managers globally. So let people like Mr. Amit collect all the money from the world over, all the wealth, and manage it and give good return to India also, to build India also in the process. Now we have Yogita ji. I would Yogita ji, whatever you say, in addition to that, I would like to, since you have come from London, and I think this year only India has beaten UK to occupy the 5th place in the economy, the global economy. And then another thing, Mr. Rishi Sunak become the PM, and British ruled India for 200 years. We were slaves to them. And now, what is the UK story about India? Perception in UK about India?
Sure, thank you, and thanks for that good prelude. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Yogita. I'm the director and co-founder of a talent solutions company called iXit Solutions. We are headquartered in London, but we are a pretty global organization working all across Europe, Southeast Asia, Middle East as well, and India is home. So yes, definitely India. Quickly, what we do, talent, as I think we all agree, is one of the biggest wars that most of the organizations are facing. It's called the war of talent, and here, sort of we come into the picture and try to do our best to sort of align the talent to the needs of the organizations, our clients. We are a very global organization, as I said. And the theme, I think, is very, very apt to the conversation that we are having, which is more around international expansion, more around how the world perceives India. I think in terms of international expansion, what we've seen in the entire decade leading up to the year 2019, we saw that most of the organizations, more than half of the growth was actually obtained through international markets. Working in markets which are not the home markets for the organizations. And this I'm talking particularly about Asian economies and particularly Eastern Europe economies, not to talk about Latin or North America. So I think international growth is definitely the go-to strategy for any organization. But yes, it does come with its due share of challenges in terms of how you would have that sustainable competitive advantage in the destination market that you want to go to, and And I think the mantra for that is you conquer your own territory first, beat the local and then go global. And if I talk about India, we all know, India has the largest, number of, unicorns, the entrepreneurs in the world. So, we are all there. And apart from that, just few pointers from my side which I would like to add is that there are a few archetypes of the organizations which, I would say would succeed more from an international perspective. And they would fall under certain categories. Either if you are a tech company, like we are a tech solutions provider, tech recruitment solutions provider. We work primarily in the tech and the digital space. So from that perspective, what I've seen is that the tech product companies which are innovators, which have a global product which they can customize more to a local level, more to different countries, considering the country specific risks and sensitivities in mind. I think they are the ones who is one of the archetype that would really succeed in sort of an international expansion spree, apart from some of the other organizations that we've seen. For example, either you are a brand leader, so your brand gels internationally, within, for example, the emerging economies. So, that is also one of the archetypes that I would see would, lead to an international expansion, apart from, as I said, the risks and all which need to be kept in mind of localization, of customization, of understanding how the strong players in that destination market, how they are operating and what is a sustainable competitive advantage that we bring to the table. Yeah, so that would be my thought on international expansion.
Thank you, Yogita ji. I think Mr. Virat. Sorry, yeah. Mr. Piyush, please. Your views about the field.
So guys, usually I think we get the most difficult slot because यहाँ पे पेट भी भारी रहता है और आंखें भी. So, but yeah, I'll try to crack code here. I think I also feel one of the most qualified to be sitting here next to financial wizards, to engineers, to scientists, to a lot of mentors. I'm a simple plain play brand guy. I help build brands, whether in the country or anywhere offshore. I'm the CEO and co-founder of strategic design agency Jumping Goose and Piximix.com, which is world's first design tech platform. In this platform, we work with almost about 87 artists, design talent across the globe. Coming from almost about 22 countries now. Our story is quite simple because, and with Jumping Goose, we forayed into, so that we service some parts of UAE, some portions in Europe, now US, foraying into US and SE markets as well. Now, Deepak sir in the morning has actually spoken about this whole India growth story. And I think that India growth story is in itself kind of sums up everything for everybody. And since morning 10 o'clock, we've all been speaking highly about it. I think but the truth is that India growth story was only possible because it was branded in a manner that New Age India connects with. And that's where I feel very strongly that irrespective of whatever sector, whatever domain, whatever brand, whichever expertise we come from, when we talk about expansions in global markets, global circuits, one of the critical aspects is how we narrate our brand story. And that I think was commendably done by India itself, and that's what we have been talking about. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Piyush. Do you also do branding for India, Bharat?
We don't, but we'd love to. Whether India or Bharat, whatever it works. So branding doesn't necessarily mean how we call it out and all of that, but it's more the story behind what the concept is, how do we communicate to the end consumer, because at the end of it, we are all entrepreneurs here, and the critical aspect is that we need human interactions, we're dealing with people, and customers connect is the most important piece that we're all following.
Mr. Virat? Mr. Virat, we expect to hear from you since you are from the Trade Promotion Council of India, that how is the trade from India to global markets?
Good afternoon everybody, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I represent Trade Promotion Council of India, and as a trade promotion organization, our core mandate is to provide expansion opportunities for Indian businesses in global markets. The core specialty, or you can say core competence which we have, is to be able to create curated buyer-seller platforms in different parts of the world, where our exporters can go and directly, interact with targeted buyers, take their samples, discuss business opportunities. So we've been doing this work especially across food and beverage, ceramics, and chemicals sectors. I will talk a bit about food and beverage because we come up with a flagship trade show called Indus Food every January. It's going to happen in Greater Noida, India Exposition Mart. And the core purpose of Indus Food was, as you people rightly pointed out, there are a lot of challenges in exports. We don't solve all of them, but having a buyer connect in your own country rather than having to go to different trade shows other parts of the world. Moreover, although we will have international exhibitors, but largely Indian exhibitors, it's an exclusive India show. So all kinds of fresh to processed food products are exhibited there. And the idea behind Indus Food was that we are a major producer of raw material in agriculture. We are a major agri producer, but even if you look at the trade data, our share of processed food exports is very low. It always makes sense to focus on processed because it obviously carries more value, and it's pivotal to the government's target of doubling farmers' incomes. Moreover, commodities are prone to fluctuations, also issues related to food security. We see that the government is compelled to make some bans from time to time in commodities, but you can still be competitive when you are exporting processed food products, right? So I think over the years we have seen that this buyer-seller connect at least has been very useful. We are seeing good traction in exports. Processed food is still an area where India is not a leader, but the kind of growth rate which we are witnessing in the past few years is phenomenal. I would like to, think that we are a part of that, and we are enabling that through our trade platforms. And I think the bigger challenge is that most of this processed food is still going to NRIs, right? And in food it is very important to be able to curate to the mainstream population of any market. I remember in Europe we had a European lady who, a biryani which we considered bland, she considered it so spicy she couldn't complete it. She apologized and said, I have to give it up, right? So I think that is a major element of branding, though there are many others. We have to, Indian cuisine has its strengths. People come here to savor Indian cuisine. But if we want to, export our processed food products to the mainstream population, we need to do some adaptation and possibly learn from players like the restaurants out there, because somehow there are Indian restaurants in different parts of the world who are cracking that code. And I think that is the next level of growth which we see, which would help our processed food exports, and not necessarily we'll have to export commodities, and moreover we'll of course have better value. That's it for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Virat.
So, just in fact, I should speak last. Instead of that, I started first. So I just heard all of them. And our services are like, we can definitely connect all of them because we are largely providing the legal services. And legal is inevitable in every sector. I was listening to Saha was talking about BHEL is also our esteemed client. They are making a lot of Vande Bharat trains and all. And we are working for the high-speed rail, India's first bullet train assignment, which is Japanese technologies are there. So of course it is a technology-driven thing. And I was thinking that I am odd man out in this technology-driven, but yes, we do support in all dispute, because whenever there is any infrastructure projects and large infrastructure, whether it is a roadside, metro, highway, oil and gas, and any power plant, dispute is inevitable because the projects are mostly delayed. And once the project is delayed, there is a dispute between the contractor and the employer to who has delayed the projects, because everybody wants to get in time. And if there is a delay in the project, it is a repercussion on the cost side, right? And these are the things. So we work as a evaluator of the claim, and our client is like Tata Projects, L&T, Satoji, FCONS, all infrastructure companies, including government side like Ministry of Railway, BHEL, National High Speed Railway, NHAI, National Highway Authority of India, all are our clients in infrastructure sector. And infrastructure, as I told, it is a backbone of the India's GDPs and contributing 10% of that. And India is largely focusing to develop the infrastructure as well as that's all. Yes, Mr. Adarsh.
So Mr. Adarsh is a very smart guy. He has sold his services. Now he wants others to be his client that have it, if you get into any dispute, or you want IPR, the intellectual property rights and all that, So you can come to me and disputes, of course, I'm there for you. So he wants to have all of them as his clients.
Then provides the disputes first and then invite.
No, dispute is inevitable. Of course, nobody should come for the matrimonial dispute or other dispute. We are dealing with the corporate disputes, all the infrastructure.
Money is there in the corporates.
Yes.
That's fine. So, okay, now the question on the topic itself, that global market education, international expansion strategies. Now there is though we have become the fifth largest economy and our GDP is growing at the highest rate globally, but still we are far behind China. If we compare with China, the size of economy that they have, we are far behind. And India is, though our Prime Minister Modi went for Make in India, and it has been a good success. It has given us a lot of dividends. But still, India is not known as a global manufacturing hub or an economical manufacturing hub, the way it is economical in China, the mass production, mass manufacturing is economical hub. But the cost at which they are able to manufacture, produce, that should take advantage for them. And India doesn't have factories, manufacturing base, very little abroad. Indian MNCs are very, very few, though we have few Fortune 500 companies, but they do not have, even companies like Reliance, Adani, they are hardly present abroad, in their services or manufacturing. So they are all here only. So unless, how will we be able to penetrate international markets? Only through exports we will not be so successful. So unless we set up manufacturing base for Indian MNCs, we cannot become a global player. So how can we be able to overcome these challenges which we have right now?
Now, in my view, India is growing very fast because India is the first country who has become the fastest 100 unicorn, because this entire theme is about the entrepreneur, and unicorn is the company which is crossing the $1 billion company and all the startups. So India is number one, and India is growing in every sector, and we are self-dependent also. And as I said that you talked about the China and others. So
okay.
1 minute. So that's why you might have seen that Modi ji is focusing on all these things which is developed in India, and India is doing remarkably good, especially what I did with the road sector and the railway sector. That is really, really very good, and India is growing very fast. And I look forward to have a very bright future of India in growing, reaching very $1 trillion GDPs. And very soon we will be competing with the China also, maybe sooner or later.
Okay, thank you. So you have been given a signal that we have to wind up fast, quickly. So that is let's touch upon the new green technologies.
Yeah, I want to just highlight 2-3 things. Manufacturing, as you told, it is only 2% in every sector. But if you see the GDP, I mean, the dependency on agriculture in India is more than 65% of people are. Whereas in US and other, you will hardly find 2 to 3% people are. So there is a lot of technologies needs to be brought actually to India. So that is a main thing, and processing. Without value addition, trading has no margin. So, you know, if you see a private equity or somebody, I want them to bring to fund to agri-tech or a farmer producer company with 500 farmers managing that company, they will not come because the margins are not so lucrative. If they have a manufacturing, if they are doing some good branded products and the exports are there, then definitely people will come. So that whether you go for a debt or equity, it is very difficult to bring to the farming, large sector. So these are the 2 areas I wanted to highlight. Third thing is capital. As we were discussing about fintech, going to farmers, each and every farmers, and doing the documentation and sanctioning a loan and then giving finance, it is very, very difficult. I think most of the banks, nationalized banks, NBFCs and everybody, they are reluctant to go. They don't want to finance any FPOs or any individual farmers. So now, fintech coming into play, having a, you will not find a, register also, farmer register or FPO register where the data, income and, like a civil score, there is no score of a farmer. So nobody wants to take risk. So that is another area. If finance, I mean the last mile inclusion will be there, financial inclusion will be there, then definitely, all these areas will improve. So that is the 3 areas I wanted to highlight.
So just the last question, and that is to whoever has got expertise in the green technologies. So how is India placed in green technologies as compared to the developed countries in green technologies? And what is the future of green technology?
I would like to take both the questions because we are talking of the China story and we are talking of manufacturing. So we are a manufacturing organization. So we are having various competitors. It's not only the government of India doesn't fund us. We are a PSU. So we have to spend on our manufacturing and we have to earn from that to pay for our employees and all. So initially in the thermal sector, China came in a big way with their cheap products like their boilers, generators, turbines and all. So they flooded the Indian market in the last 10 to 15 years. But then Indian corporate houses also and the various state electric utilities, they saw the L1 prices. In government of India, you see the L1 prices. So they ordered the Chinese equipments. But after installation of these equipments in the market, they failed in a big way. So right now, China is nowhere in the Indian market. All the small players are also gone. Right now in our sector, only BHEL stands and L&T stands strong. And we are also not only providing equipments and services to the government-owned companies, we are also giving equipments to Adani's, Ambani's, Tata's, Jindal across India. And not only in India, we have also forayed into the international market, wherein we have given full EPC solutions. We have done erection and commissioning. Right now we are executing projects in Bangladesh. It's 2 into 660 megawatt thermal power station. And we have 2 projects in Nepal. It's a big hydropower project of Nepal. Earlier also we had done for other countries like Afghanistan, Libya. We have presence in across 88 countries around the globe in all the 6 inhabited continents. So that is our presence if you talk globally.
Thank you. So I think, what are you glad? So already we have been already given us a hint. So we have to.
Yes, with that.
All the candidates, and they have really inspired the audience, hopefully, with their great positive messages. The audience must be inspired. Thank you all.
Thank Okay, thank you so much.